Hi, Jason Beatty here for Indigo Prep blog post number 5. We have a study tip focused on a particular type of student that I've come across quite a bit in my GMAT teaching career. So if this is you, this can be a very effective study tip. You may understand at some level that the GMAT is not a math or an English test. We'll use more math examples here just because it's a little bit easier to talk about. Although you understand this at a certain level, what you find yourself doing during practice sets is panicking and reverting back to the content. This is a self-reinforcing cycle because you probably turn out to get questions right, which feels good, but they take too long, right? This is the behavior, this reversion to content that this study tip can help with. And by the way, it's this reversion to content that what is typically holding your score back. The type of student that typically shows this behavior has a content strength. I mean, there's no point in reverting to the math of it unless you know the math, right? So I typically find this with, analysts or accountants or engineers or somebody who's comfortable, at least, say, with the algebra. They see a solution, they know they can do it, and they block out all the other paths. You may also think that the alternative approaches are on some way cheating. They're not. The GMAT is not about measuring your ability to do math. It's about measuring your fitness for business school. And as it turns out, they're not looking to rank you purely on math ability. You may be missing questions because you're making silly content errors. You may be time pressured, and you may feel like the way to solve this problem is to start executing the content faster, not embracing alternative approaches to the content. This is not the way forward, right? The way forward is less math, not faster math. So this is a great way to start thinking differently. Xerox a few pieces of the official guide. Start with easy problem-solving questions because they almost always have alternative-based approaches. What you're trying to do here is stop the panic and stop the reversion to content, right? So if you put these up at eye level, it's a little bit easier to not start writing a bunch of stuff on them and put them on a place that you pass by several times a day. On the way to the kitchen, for instance, on the fridge, maybe in a hallway, a point from one place to the next where you're not likely to linger for too long. Each time you look at the question, do one thing to either understand the question or understand the answer choices. So you might draw a picture, you might table out the information, you might scribble out but not solve equations, you might group the answer choices based on certain number properties, and then walk away. What's happening is in the face of uncertainty, your stress level is going up and you're reverting to a bad habit. And what this does is it tries to get you comfortable with a period of inaction. Now, this period of inaction is going to be several hours in this particular case. But what we want you to do is to touch something, not respond to the panic, and move away. So you break the cycle, you do some more thinking, and you just train in some roaming in your brain. And what that is going to allow is the opening up of these alternative approaches. Now, sooner or later, you're going to want to do something similar, but add back the time pressure. But the key is make the right choice with no pressure, and then you just keep ramping up the pressure, keeping the right behavior in place. I hope this is a good study tip, and I hope this makes sense. If you want to talk more about this, these are all the ways to contact me. And as always, best of luck on your GMAT studies.